I just want to say a massive thank you to everyone who supported and donated to the Little Princess Trust in regards to my girl cutting 12 to 14 inches of her hair so that she can donate it to children with cancer. It definitely wasn't something you guys had to do, but you did come through and support, and I just want to say thank you, and I want to acknowledge all the people who did and were commenting down below, and I just want to say a big thank you to all the people who are commenting and supporting the cause, and a massive thank you to all of you. But without further ado, as per usual, like the video, subscribe to the YouTube channel, hit the bell so that you are notified when one of my videos come out, and let's get into the video.
You Need to Chill by Juno Dawson. Sometimes people say to me, what happened to your brother Bill? We haven't seen him in ages. Is he hiding? Is he ill? Is he lost in the park? Is he scared of the dark? Is he doing his homework still? That's when I look at them in the eye and say, hey, you need to chill. But the kids keep asking questions and say, was he eaten by a shark or whale? Was he munched up just like krill? That simply isn't true, I say, and hey, you need to chill. But the kids don't give up and they ask, is he on vacation in Barbados or Brazil? No one has gone anywhere, and hey, you need to chill. But they're not giving up. Is he at the zoo? Is he at the fair? Is he searching for a thrill? Although we do love the Ferris wheel, hey, you need to chill. But we're so confused and so concerned. We cannot rest until we find out what happened to your brother Bill. Did he tumble down and hurt himself? Have they given him a pill? Is he in the pool or on the field showing off his skill? Was he taken to Mars by aliens? Is he on their spaceship still? Stop, I say, that's enough. Hey, you need to chill. There are no hungry whales and no green little men. Your hysteria is silly. The truth is that my brother Bill, big reveal, is now my sister, Lily. I know. It was maybe quite a shock at first, but really she's just the same. She just looks a little different and has a new first name. She's still clever and funny and kind and cool. She's one in a mill. And if people have a problem, we shout, hey, you need to chill. The cool thing about this book is it can be a call and response. So anytime you say, hey, you need to chill, your kid can say it with you.
Yeah, this guy really needs to be stopped. This Lily Tino guy needs to be stopped because he keeps coming onto social media and talking about the most insane things ever. People need to start wondering why it's the case that all of these ABCD rainbow community people love to want to read to kids. What is it about kids that you people like so much that you feel the need to push all of your stupidity upon them? I understand it's the case that because of the path you followed, you can't reproduce your own children, so I'm beginning to wonder why you feel the need to indoctrinate everyone else.
Hey friends, I just passed the—
Yeah, man with pink long hair, I do not want to hear your opinion. She recorded herself engaging in all of these actions. This person votes.
Remember, dating trans women is not gay.
Kenny, that doesn't make me gay, huh?
Does society need men?
No.
You don't need men? Starbucks, man. iPhone, man. Stanley Cup, man. You need men? Your purse, man. Jeans, man.
You need men?
Honestly, no.
Your glasses, man. Makeup so you don't feel insecure in public, man. Nikon camera, man. Backpack, man. Gray hair? That was you, actually. You're welcome for everything, by the way. So tough.
Do you think they've gone too far with the woke ideology?
I think the woke ideology just says I care about people. No.
Well, men and women's sports says I care about people?
Yeah, I think it's all about accepting people's differences. And there's the word woke was being—
But you say the word differences. Don't you think men and women have differences?
Of course they do, but we all have the same needs. We need to be heard, we need to be understood, we need social services.
What about the women who say I want to be understood and I don't want to compete against a man or have to share a locker room with a man? What would you say to them?
Oh, you mean like that 1/100th of 1% of people?
But it does happen.
I think that they'll sort that out.
Does their opinion not matter, the small amount, the minority?
I think that sports people understand what they're doing and they'll sort out what it needs to happen.
Are you a sports person?
No.
But you have an opinion on it?
Not really. I mean, I don't, I'd say like...
So you'd be fine separating the genders then, biologically, by not allowing men in the women's sports or the locker rooms?
I think that they need to sort it out.
Do you think biological men have an advantage to women over sports?
I've met a lot of biological men that even I could take down. So, you know,
And how tall are you?
I think I'm under 5 foot.
What are these men you could take down?
Well, there's not a lot, but I probably could take some down, you know, yeah, but I'm pretty strong, so I work out.
You want to arm wrestle?
No, I probably couldn't win with you.
Okay, well.
Definitely not arm wrestle you, unless you gave me a huge advantage. But, you know, I'm a little old lady and you're a young man, so that's not exactly a fair fight. But get me a little old man. Now we're on. Get me a 70-year-old man who, you know, whatever hasn't worked out, maybe.
Well, this guy actually right here, our cameraman, is 68.
Uh-oh. Yeah, but he looks like he works out. Look at those abs. Look at those guns. Come on.
As I've said in previous videos, it seems to be majority of women who seem to push this agenda of men being able to compete against women. And at this point, I just say it's the case that we should allow the men to compete against the women. Once they start completely dominating their sports and completely possibly take over their sports, maybe it'll be the case that these women who never played sports in their lives will understand that men are just better than women at sports. But until then, it might be the case that men will have to compete against them for them to get in their heads that, you know, men competing against women is not a good idea. Before we get back into the video, make sure you guys like the video if you guys enjoyed the video, subscribe to the YouTube channel, hit the bell that you'll see beside the subscribe button so that you're notified when one of my videos come out. Follow me on Instagram, X as they call it, TikTok at YinkaThatGuy, and let's get back into the video.
A lot of people are accusing him of fat shaming the governor.
And then when he's lost 30 pounds, I'm going to come back to the state and do a celebration and a public weigh-in with him.
That was so mean and uncomfortable. And I don't think the audience liked it.
No,
This is a governor they recently elected who's pretty popular. But then saying he needs to get on the carnivore diet.
Someone who's large,
But
someone who's large doesn't need you to point that out. Like, they are very aware and they feel that all the time.
Well, I think that's just one of the differences between men and women. Men can be mean and direct to your face, while women engage in a more indirect and sympathy-seeking way among each other. Like, she's just big boned, she's different and beautiful, and like you just said, someone who's that large doesn't need to hear it, or they feel that all the time. Well, type 2 diabetes does not care about your feelings. It holds the cards, the deadly cards, and it will play them if you don't take action, okay? But as for a man, if I know someone with his own gravitational pull, I would look at him and say, you are fat and miserable. You will die of being fat. Stop it, okay? And if you look at the results of each approach, it's clear which one has a higher chance of working.
Like, what if Donald Trump was watching right now? What would you say to him?
Trans rights, fuck Trump, fuck Elon.
Are you a part of the trans community or are you an ally? Pronouns are?
They, she.
Beautiful. When did you know that you were a they, she?
I first knew that I was some flavor of not cis almost 6 years ago now, June 2nd of 2019.
You remember the day?
Down to the minute, actually. 1:49 p.m. That's when I received the text from a friend of mine. Oh, it was all caused by a friend of mine texting me that coming out as bisexual.
Your friend helped you discover that, or was it a feeling?
A friend of mine did that, and it chatted my years of repressing the feelings, and yeah. On my vest, I have embroidered "Be True" because that's what it is about. You know, that's what being trans is about to me.
You love the truth, right?
Yeah.
The reality.
And I'm living my reality. You know, we don't live in a single reality anymore.
What year did we start living in multiple realities?
2020, to be obvious, but like...
I would agree.
With what happened with January 6th and whatever, you know, and the anti-vaxxers.
Is that why you wear the mask is because of COVID?
Yeah, look, it's still out there. It's still harming people. Yeah, I don't want to get it.
You got like triple vax though, right?
I was running on my original 2 boosters at the time.
You probably get another one just to be safe.
I got one back last December. Healthcare has been touch and go for me because of how it's nasty. Because of like, you know, needles have been hard for me is also the reason why I wasn't able to start HRT till semi-recently.
Do you think that we should have like demanded the vaccine for like everybody?
Yeah, absolutely. You know.
You also believe in my body, my choice, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, awesome.
There's not much I'm going to say on this video, but of course it's the case that this guy is wearing a mask and he looks the way he looks.
Let me just go ahead and get this out there right now. If a man ever looks at me and says, hey babe, what's for dinner? And like means it, like assumes I'm in charge of dinner. What's for dinner? Divorce. That's what's for dinner.
I can 100% guarantee you do not have a man in your life.
If you're white, yes, you are racist. Even if you think you're woke, we all benefit from oppression. Pretending you're not racist only makes racism grow.
What is up with this new trend of people coming online and singing songs? You look stupid and you look like an idiot.
I think throwing a Molotov cocktail at a Tesla, burning the battery hurts the environment.
I don't think that has done that much damage to the environment compared to what the Trump administration is doing to the environment. That is minuscule.
What do you think is the worst thing Elon Musk and his Doge team has done so far?
We don't really know what they've done in there, so I think that that's very dangerous that they're, using their technological, all the technical stuff that they're doing computerized with computers and with the agencies.
Yeah, of course, violence from the group who claim that they're the most loving and accepting people. Makes sense.
Why aren't white people openly racist? Why do they try to hide it with these weird innuendos that they think are subtle? It's because a part of them knows that racism is not currently in fashion. However, the more that Trump continues to spout racist nonsense and be our president, the more it becomes in fashion, aka socially acceptable. That is why I have seen more blatant acts of racism in the last, say, year than I have ever in my life, as well as online, and hate crimes are going up across the nation. Explicit racism is being modeled by people in our government right now, and it's also being modeled by popular social media influencers and content creators. However, it's still not fully socially acceptable to be openly racist and say it with your chest, so that is why they continue to try to hide it. And if there's one thing that white people hate, it's confrontation, it's being called out. So that is why when they are being racist, they would prefer to do so secretly so that they maintain plausible deniability instead of being called out, because at that point that is damaging to their reputation. It's about self-preservation for white people. That is why they're openly racist.
Ah yes, let's listen to the white liberal woman who knows everything about white people and how they just hide their racism. I wonder if she's one of them that she claims they are.
We are not free unless disabled trans folks have access and can't breathe until undocumented trans people live without fear. No justice, no peace, no ICE or police. 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 People organize and struggle get stronger. The person who's attacking expects a woman.
Jesus was hella autistic. Let's talk about it. So a lot of people get very uncomfortable when I talk about Jesus within the context of neurodivergence. However, I do want to remind you that he had God in his brain. There was no possibility for a neurotypical experience. Absolutely none. However, I do feel like there were very specific points in his life where you can look at them and say, absolutely, that is autistic coded. So first of all, when he left his parents and was at the temple for 3 days and they find him and he's like, what, didn't you know where I'd be? Special interest. He would preach for like 3 days in a row and then at the very end be like, oh yeah, they probably need to eat. Absolutely hyper-focused. And then when he does need to perform these miracles, he doesn't like being asked to do it, but he always eventually does it so easily, it's like it's not even an effort for him. So like walking on water, totally autistic coded.
I really want to see you do this with other religions because I can guarantee you there are certain ones we all know you wouldn't try it with, but of course when it comes to Christianity, you're all fine doing that.
You fucking speaking! You look like a fucking cold sore! Why are you talking, bro? You look like a fucking cold sore! I don't know why you're talking! You look like a fucking cold sore! I can talk louder than you, bitch! No one can hear you! I talk louder!
Yeah, you do know just because you're shouting and you're loud doesn't make you right.
If you just came back from a protest and you're wondering, okay, now what? The answer is more. More! We need more of this shit. Because you showed up today, and because today went so well, other people who were scared to show up today might show up at the next one. We keep the pressure on. We keep building community, and we keep showing up. If we know anything about other places where they have rejected fascism, it's that the people keep coming together and they keep banding together and they keep protesting and they don't fucking stop.
Of course she has the bull nose ring piercing. You shouldn't be surprised at this point.
It's like mind-boggling how stupid you people are. And it's because of people like you, the conservatives and the ultra-Republicans, that have no brain in their head, with all due fucking respect. And so because of them, we have now had, and it is because of you, it's because of you. My entire 20s is going to be spent in a pandemic, in a global pandemic, and now it's going to be a fucking recession. Fuck you guys. Literally, go to hell. I don't believe in hell, personally, but I know you do. So I hope you end up there. Fuck you.
I don't even know why it's the case you care about any of that. You're going to get a psychology degree or a social degree, and then you're going to leave your university and you'll end up being a McDonald's worker. And this is no shade to the McDonald's workers out there, but you should not be worrying about anything when it's the case that you're going to get a stupid degree anyway.
What? You didn't know I'm trans?
Most of you are probably wondering, but what in the blue hell did we all just watch? And I'm sorry for all the people who had to see this nonsense.
So I was on my way home today and I'm just like minding my business, listening to music, and you know, I look over and there's a Tesla there and I'm like, true. And he has a sticker. It's a man driving, of course. And he has a sticker that says Ultra MAGA, and I'm like, sir, you got the wrong one in traffic. So he decides to get behind me, and I'm like, bet. I have all the time in the world. I have nothing else to do today besides go home in traffic. I already plan on the drive being like 30 minutes because, you know, fucking Tampa sucks. So I'm driving and he's behind me. So what is my democratic civil duty to do besides play with a Tesla that is, you know, ultra MAGA? So I'm brake checking like the entire time, holding up traffic. Yes, I'm that bitch that's playing with a Tesla right now. I'm holding up traffic, and it's just me and the Tesla on the road, basically, in my mind. So he cuts over into the left lane. So guess what? I cut in front of him, and then he cuts back over to the right lane. So I'm cutting in front of him again, and I do it for the next 30 minutes until I need to get off at my exit. And I feel like everybody else should join in on this game. Because why? A Tesla cannot hit you. It can't hit a vehicle. How do I know this? I used to drive a Tesla. A Tesla will kill the driver before it kills or hits a person, a pedestrian, or another vehicle. How did I know that? I've tested it. I've came very close to another vehicle, and I slammed so hard by the Tesla braking that I literally had a bruise from my seatbelt. Like, it was crazy. Yeah, so play with Teslas in traffic. They'll love it, especially if they have MAGA fucking stickers. Do it. It's like, it will make your day so much better. I promise. Happy Friday.
How brainwashed do you have to be to go from fighting for electrical vehicles to go into destroying them and being happy about it?